The Rumble is a golf cart with 3 trash bins. No recording. I see back there. I know I'm funny. They're right here.
So you made him uncomfortable? Yeah.
Are we ready? Drivers. What? Someone? Someone what? What did someone do? Huh? Does anyone want another free comic? They're free. Take them for your friends. See, I'll rub my face on it.
Is that like the Shroud Turin?
No, not at all like that. It's a magazine. Oh, the door closed. Fine. All right. Okay. Hello. Hi. How's it going? Remember, this is a somber panel. Very serious.
I thought it was the Soundbot panel.
What?
The Soundbot.
I'm the jokester here.
Yeah, yeah.
What was I supposed to say? Oh, yeah. Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier. If you weren't curious. This is not my panel. I want to be very clear. Some of you might be confused. This is not my panel. So this is not a panel that I'm running. I am moderating this panel because these fine people are all part of Red Giant and also Keenspot, which is celebrating their 15th year anniversary. How many years have this panel been going on? 15? Oh, well, get closer to the mic. This is our 6th. 6th? I've only been moderating 3. Yeah, so third time moderating this panel, but it's first time we have packed the room. So the room is completely full. Yeah! We disappointed outside that they couldn't get in, so that's why we're sad. That's why we're sorry. We're remembering all the people that are banging on the doors. No, take my baby, no. So anyway, this is the Red Giant Keenspot panel, and we're here to talk about a whole lot of stuff. And I'm going to blabber a whole lot. But they're going to talk about some important stuff. So first off, our panelists are as follows: Tom Fishbach, my brother. And we seem to all be in the wrong order. So you want to just go down the line from my brother down this way to introduce yourself and tell you what you do.
I'm Thomas K. I'm New Sounds. I've been with
my brother. Right over.
They know
You did. No. You get my brother already. Yeah, there we go.
I am Thomas Fishbach, also more well known as Mark's brother. I run the comic 2 Kinds. It's the one with the It's been going on for a while.
I think that's your best.
Really epic.
Yeah. What they didn't show is the other half of that picture is me making an equally disturbing face.
Anyways, it's a comic that's been going on for about 12 years, and I've been with Keenspot for about 4 of them. So it's been great. That's it.
I'm Thomas. I run News Hounds in Keenspot since this began, so 15 years ago. So yeah, that. And and I'm just happy to be here now, still plugging away for Keenspot, and with a brand new comic coming out next. Woo.
I'm David Campetti, CEO of Red Giant, and I'm a writer of Pandora's blogs that will be part of what we're talking about here. I also write Exposure, which has been serialized on Keenspot and is now available product placement as a couple of trade paperbacks and hardcovers of the Red Giant group. And also Jade Warriors, a series we might be about that is also on Keenspot.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Coronado, the artist and creator of Monster Girl, and also the artist of the second volume Exposure, and also the Panelist.
I'm Ben Markiplier. I'm the CEO of Red Giant. I actually have known Keenspot since before there was Keenspot. I think it was almost 20 years ago. A young kid named Chris Crosby kept pestering me for a lot of information, and little did I know that we found Keenspot years later. It's so immediately whenever I launched Favorite Sons Legends as a webcomic, I went and that was back in 2010, and everything that is Red Giant blossomed out of that. So I'm the writer and creator of Favorite Sons Legends, Favorite Sons, Katrina, creator of Amped, New Identity, Darkon, and a bunch of other stuff. But that's what
Is the one Keenspot is because some people may not know. So, who reads comics? I imagine the majority of you do. Someone's very important back there. Hey, you in the beanie. No, you taking a nap?
Oh my God, this is important.
No. Just make me sad, but we're at least a little bit interested in what's going on. Right? Alright, so anyway. So Keenspot, you all read comics, but Keenspot is actually an online web portal. Who has read a comic on Keenspot at one point in your life? Okay, actually not all that many here, so a lot of you don't know. Web comics are an absurdly huge community of things. I mean, my brother's been doing it for 12 years now, and the various artists on this panel have been doing it for maybe even longer than that, maybe? Yes, even longer than that. So web comics actually are an interesting idea because they offer free content. Like what I do on YouTube, my content is free in that you guys don't pay for it, but it's ad supported. So the same thing goes for what happens on Keenspot. All of these comics that you can find on Keenspot are completely free. They're just there. You can read through everything that's there. There's no you can download the pages if you really wanted to, but you don't need to do that. But I mean, everything is there for you to access at any point in time, and that's the whole basis of this model. And that's why all those comics in your hand are free, because they're ad-supported comics. You want to bring the idea of online ad-supported stuff that is free, into stuff that you can hold in your hand and be free to. So that's the whole idea of why we're pushing all this free stuff on. I don't know how much I don't know how much you like free stuff, but at least you're getting something here. Any questions on that?
Who likes free?
Who likes free?
There we go.
Yay! We'll be throwing free money in the crowd later. Take the stuff, Andy.
So also on that, Red Giant is in essence founded out of this free concept along with our strategic partner, Keenspot. And what we're doing, for those who don't know or haven't had a chance to read through the comic, to learn what we're about, we will be launching later this year weekly 72-page comic book called The Giant Size. So every week, there will be a comic book, giant size action, giant size fantasy, giant size thrills, giant size adventure. So every week, one of those featuring two, not just one, but two stories in each will be free. Where can you get it? You can get it with us, and you can get it in the video game section. Literally, all you have to do is buy something, a stick of gum. Just go to that register, and the bag that you get your stick of gum or Call of Duty or whatever games you want will be free in that bag. Further, I'll make sure that your local comic book shops, because they can get it for free as well, are signed up. Literally, all they have to do is say, yeah, we'll take it. That's it. We're not charging the retailers. So all you have to do is just test for them. And I'm told Markiplier made good at that. So, no, what are you doing? What are you doing? Proactive.
Oh, okay.
So, and when is this going to happen? Beginning November 4th, 2015. And every Wednesday, we predict.
We're giving the world hundreds of thousands of free comic books. Victor for victory.
You'll be surprised because actually one of the characters in Ant, the lead guy, is in the big.
That was his Christmas present.
Exactly. Also, if you don't happen to get the print book at Toys R Us or your local store, you're in luck because a little over a week later, starting November 16th, they will begin coming out online for free. The same way we do it for Keenspot, a page a day. Basically, almost every day, a new page will come up. So obviously, we want to make sure everyone can read this content. So the U.S. is covered and international can read it for free. Now, one of the things we do, it's not just normal advertising like you see. We have this is a 72-page book. Now, what's interesting is we don't want to simply do a book chock full of ads. What we've done is we're now partnering with select advertisers for something we're calling content advertising. So let's say a video game company or a toy company, these IP generating companies, which we will announce later. We're actually partnering. What we're working on is multi-page per week content that we serialize. So instead of seeing content, ad, you'll have more comics in this than just cartoon. You're also going to feature some of your favorite licensed type of stuff, except we're not licensing. Instead, we're partnering with them because many of these select advertisers, we will also then launch other comics later on that you can enjoy. So this will be a great way for us to introduce you to some great stuff. There's a lot of great companies out there that have intellectual property that are used in Japan, for instance, or across the world that have never been made into a comic or even been made accessible to Americans. So this is going to introduce you guys to some awesome stuff. So we're really excited about this. This is a way for you guys to really get more out of this giant size experience than simply chocolate advertising. Then the big news for you guys is we introduced.
Let me sit here. I will have my own comic that I will be in. So excited about that. No. Yeah, so everything that you've seen in the comics, like, open your books to page 3, and it is open your books. Yeah. You will see I'm there. Wait, is that page 3? Am I wrong on that one? It's not page 3? Wait, which page am I on? Page 3, 4? 3, 4, 5, 4. Oh, page 4. Open your books to page 4. I'm there. Woo! Yay! Woo! All right, anyway, so what's going to be happening is pretty much every story in that comic right there. I'm going to be going through it. I have my own story where we
can tell them that basically an overzealous fan.
Yeah, that's right. An overzealous fan gives me a little device that warps me to the different worlds. So if any of you have had a chance to flip through the stories in there, I'm going to be going to each and every one of those worlds and getting into trouble like I normally do. So anyway, so that should be good.
We're going to announce watch for the announcement.
Okay, yeah, the day will be coming very shortly. We're still working on it, so it'll be coming soon. So, yay, me!
Is not only will we be in these worlds, we're getting the artists of those comics involved for those sections. So when he's in that world, he looks exactly the same as he would in each of those worlds.
Yeah. So, it should be pretty good. So hopefully that's going to go on. I've never been in the comic before and that people Okay, and that's pretty much all the informational stuff that we got going.
More people? Come on in. Is there any room? Oh, where's Mustache? Oh, that's adorable.
Anyway, I was hoping actually to make sure that we gave everyone time to talk about their own comics first before we do that. So can we go back to the first order to tell people like what their comics are about, because obviously this family is just about me and the people involved here are amazing artists and they've been doing comics for a long time now, so we get a little time for them to say what making a comic is all about, what doing something creative is all about, what making something really interesting come to life for everyone who enjoys is all about. So we can do a reverse of this and start with you on that.
Certainly. I'll just talk about Wayward Sons. Wayward Sons, the universe of Wayward Sons, is 5,000 years ago. 2 groups of aliens crashed land on Earth, and the resulting war would inspire a myth, legend, and fairy tale in history. So it's science fiction mythology. We have movie and works on it. It's a lot of fun. There's Wayward, 2 different comics, Wayward Sons Legends, which takes place in the past, and then Wayward Sons, which is in the comic you guys have, which will be in the giant size line, giant size action. That actually takes place in modern day, and it's their half-human children who are now having to protect the world against their own parents. Thus, the name Wayward Sons finally makes sense. So,
She wants me to talk about Pandora's Laws, which you'll find as I believe the last feature. Yeah, I'm the writer. She does the wonderful drawings. Pandora's Laws. A 16-year-old girl named Pandora moves with her sister and a twice divorced mom to a town called Legends, Florida. She's very popular in the blogging and Facebooking and all the other social media world, and hopes to be an online journalist. And she moves into the town of Legends, where she swears she sees monsters. It turns out that she does, but they're not quite what you'd expect. The monsters are all medical-based, actually science-based monsters. People suffering from rare diseases. What she doesn't know is the lady who hired her mom, Dr. Bethany Pike, is planning on turning them into the actual monsters of myth. Now, this ends up being sort of a supernatural romance that seems to be pretty popular, but there weren't any of those in the comics industry. So here we're doing one, and we hope you love it.
news hounds, and I've been doing it for quite some time. But I have a new comic coming out, and just for a little bit of background, I won't take too long. This is a world where basically cats, live like human beings. They're still like an oppressed minority in this world, and they're kind of still treated as pets, still treated as very, unequal sort of characters. But we have the basically, as it passes out, the free high school students, or the equivalent of high school students, breaking out of that world into our world, where ugly cats is kind of all over. So, that kind of makes them freaks, and it's something they're not really able to understand or comprehend, but they struggle their way through this world. They're actually still basically on the run for having been, a participant in this scientific experiment that did throw them into our world. And so this takes more of a science fiction sort of thing than I've done in the past, and I think it's going to be very exciting. There's going to be very direct consequences for our world because of this gateway between the two, shall we say, dimensions. And as a result, their lives become more and more important, while at the same time they become more and more criminal, without even really doing anything. They're just trying to do that. So this is a story I've been wanting to do for quite some time. I think it's going to be very exciting. I think it's, the more I write it, the more excited I get by it. My past comic's been black and white. This is going to be in full color. And I really hope that if you decide to read it, you'll enjoy it as much as I'm enjoying writing it. Thank you very much.
My comic is two kinds. It is a fantasy adventure comic. It is inhabited by two kinds of people: the humans and the human-like felines and canines. And these two races exist on the same continent and try to get along and don't. The main characters are traveling through the world trying to avoid conflict. They're comprised of both groups, and inevitably fail multiple times, no matter where they go. So it's their adventures through the world. Yeah, no. Okay, all right. Well, there are many other artists and writers involved with various stories that are in the comics that you have, but obviously they're not here right now, so they don't get to talk. But you guys do, because it's question time. And I just, whoa. Hang on, there's primers. And whoa there. There's primers. Once again, I would like to remind you, this is my panel, but I have just been told you are allowed to ask questions about me, but try to keep it also like questions about webcomics in general, what it's like to start your own webcomic, what it takes to start it, where do you get started, like what's involved with it. There's a lot of interesting things to learn about comic making, and it's not a lost art. It's definitely not, especially not lost in terms of like doing something on your own, doing anything on your own, whether it's webcomics or YouTube or making movies, doing TV show, acting, like something creative. There's always outlets for it, and just because it may not be what you think it is, you can always try new things and get knowledge that way and explore what you can do. So, anyone got a question? Yeah, you were here. Shout it.
Can all of you guys sign both of these one for me?
We can't, because then it wouldn't be fair to everyone else. Sorry. Link. Yeah. Shout it. What's your question?
How old are you?
I just turned 26. Woo, 26! All right! Yeah! How old are all you guys? That's the most exciting question!
I haven't counted the
Okay. You don't have it.
35.
Yeah!
I really have to know that.
Okay. Yeah!
105. No, 46.
Yeah! 145. I'm 27. I'm actually. No. All right, next question. Yeah. Tooth 2,400 and some change. All right, so you guys can take a question too.
What does it take to get started on Keenspot? Because I remember when you guys, I've been reading it. Like, I remember that you guys were like,
Well, actually, Tom would be a perfect example of one of the best ways that the Comics Genesis is now in.
Yes, started in the Comic Genesis, which is, used to be Keenspot. And that was their free portal where you can get a website and they give you all the tools you need to start out your own webcomic. And then eventually, if you become successful enough, you may be recruited by them, which is how I got them.
Yep. And that's actually owned by Red Giant. So it's actually the path to get all the way through to Red Giant. So we are paying attention. So,
And for those who are uneducated on that, Keenspot is actually a smaller group of comics that are rather successful. But Comic Genesis, what they're talking about, is where anyone can start and join up and have their webcomic. Does it offer hosting? It's free hosting. Free hosting for your webcomic, free hosting for all that. You get a comic on there. And you get started and just start uploading, your comic pages.
It automatically archives for you. So
Yeah, like YouTube. It's just all, the software's all built. So if you wanted to make your own comic like tomorrow, you could. So that's always what I say about these things. Like no matter what you do, like it's important to just get started in some way. Because even if you may not be to the point where you got thousands of people reading your comic every day, you can at least get started and get something there and start building a base up. The important thing is to start, no matter what you're doing. So anyway, next question. Right. No, they just asked because I was like, sounds like that's pretty cool. All right, I'll read a comic before. And I mean,
I was literally driving back from Toys R Us.
yeah, you just called me like, I am the greatest ever. You read a comic. Okay, sure, why not? Like, yellow hair, way back.
So I'm starting out as a sketch artist, and we're planning to make a game with my friend. But do you have any ideas for what tools you can use for digital art?
Photoshop. We use Photoshop, InDesign for layout. Basically, the Adobe Suite.
How about cheap alternatives?
And Manga Studio. Some people use Poser to help create their layouts. Google SketchUp to help you create environments.
If you're a student, I believe Adobe has something cheap. Adobe has some cheap stuff for students, so if you're a student, that actually gets some really inexpensive.
What's that free drawing software?
There's GIMP. Free. Yeah, GIMP. You can get that if you can't afford Photoshop. And there's other free alternatives too. There's also a Sketchbook Pro, which is very inexpensive.
Oh yeah, Sketchbook Pro.
I use that for several years.
Yeah. Instead of paint, No, I mean really, like you can start with anything. Like, wasn't there like a famous comic that started in MS Paint? Yeah, like it doesn't matter what you do. Homestuck, yeah, that was it. Homestuck was starting MS Paint. It's just like whatever you use, it's just like do it. People will like it, and then they'll find it. So you just gotta do it. So
If you draw it, they will tell.
Draw something good. Well, actually, no. Even crap stuff like Homestuck, like people. So, little one, yeah, sure. Hold on, so.
Excuse me.
No? Oh, you were just recording? Yes. Yes. Gift comics? Oh, moving comics. That's possible. Yeah, you've done something like that.
I've done a couple. I've seen some online too. There's some really great ones on IKEA. I remember which specifically, but it's entirely possible. Yeah, the time animation is very expensive, very time consuming. Yeah, but simple animation for the panels is totally doable.
Yeah, you could either build it like each individual panel is its own image, or the whole thing is a GIF and only parts of it move. Like it's whatever you want. That would cost a lot of bandwidth, obviously, big file.
One of the things we are looking at actually right now is exploring animated comics, animated versions of our comics that likely be for Hulu as well, which we already have. By the way, we should probably mention Magica in your books is available at the full movie. You may have seen it at the booth. Is available for free. Another free thing on Hulu. You don't even need a subscription to Hulu. You can go to our website. There's a link right there, and you guys can watch it for free.
Yeah, you'll find it as Nico, the Journey to Magic.
Okay. Hold on the sword.
What the comics you guys are talking about?
Louder.
All the comics you guys are talking about, are any of them online right now that we can read?
First Daughter, the beginnings of First Daughter are available on Keenspot right now. Wayward Sons Legends, which is the prequel to Wayward Sons, is available right now. I think that's it for right now.
Yeah, all the rest of them are launching as brand new stories.
Yeah, because the majority of it is new for the line that's going to be coming as they're shipping out. So, was there a follow-up to that?
What it makes is not the comics in the Giant series, but that's on the other comics you guys are talking about.
Yes.
Oh yeah, all of these guys' comics are online.
Yeah, they're all online.
Yeah, so everyone
They're all up.
free. Well, free.
The need to.
The mortgage.
I'll jump in with that. If you're passionate about a story, if you really got a story inside you that really wants to come out, you'll write.
But, and another thing too is this, that if you start by creating worlds, then start by creating characters in those worlds, and then let those characters kind of almost write themselves. It's a large degree, and the characters will like say their own lines, right? See, exactly. So I would say that that's the easiest method. It's world building. So
I was working on a story not too long ago where I came to a point, I'm not sure what to do here. I go this way or this way or this way. I put something down. I wrote it, and that's not right. But once I had it down, I could read it. All right, now I know what to do because I just typed what doesn't work and was able to shift gears and went through it rather quickly. Yes. You do it at your own speed. If you only want to put up one page a month, do one a month. And if you're really excited about it, you want to do it more often, just keep doing it. The more often something is up there, the more likely you are to build the number of people who will read it.
And that was one of the reasons for joining Keenspot, by the way, too, as well as Comic Genesis, is sometimes you can put stuff out into the ether and you won't have an audience like this, whereas in YouTube, the same with us, we cross-promote one another. And that was why I went into Keenspot, going out on my own and trying to reinvent the wheel. Keenspot and Comic Genesis are great wheels, so I highly recommend anyone if they are interested. It's a free host.
Yeah. Quick question. Oh, how old are you? You're 11. You're already selling comics and starting them? You're amazing. Oh, you're too amazing. Oh, his comics are too amazing. Oh, we should get up here and have a random then. Anyway, all right. You with dark hair back, just went like this. Yeah. You.
We're set towards Tom, but general question for all of you. For your longer running comics, what was the general inspiration for them, and
Oh, wow. I don't know, because it was so long ago. You know, I started my comic back when I was in high school. My inspiration then was that I wanted to, have something that I could make for myself, put it out there, have other people react to it. Because I saw other webcomics at the time on what was Keenspot and also Keenspot, and they were a big inspiration for me to start my own. So that was my main inspiration. Other Keenspot webcomics. And like for instance, Wayward Scientists, I was reading mythology long before I had read comics, and it was actually because of me realizing that comics are the modern mythology that got me into comics. So it was the idea came about like a lifetime. So a lot of times I would just, as John was saying, pick your passion, find something that you're passionate about, and it makes it a lot easier.
But I think one of the point of the question was, how after 12 years are you still sticking with the same idea and moving forward? Was that, yeah, that was
Right, yeah, well, that's the big question. I would say it's probably just a passion for the project and being an obsessive weirdo. So, wanting to do something for 12 years, you gotta have a bit of an obsessive personality too.
I'm going to pick a little bit. I think like all of us here, we love our characters. We don't actually like some of us would actually hang around our characters. So it's almost like you just sort of create this world around you, and it becomes this sort of reality like this. So that probably helps.
definitely.
Benny pointed out to me in my writing exposure, said, if you like your characters too much, you never put them through anything bad. Put them through a breakup. Have something terrible happen in their lives. So when I worked on the second volume of Exposure, where I followed his advice. Of course, they couldn't do that for too long. Characters. Yes, yes, of course. Yes. Oh, the thing that I can't say. Make Markiplier your best friend.
No. Answer that question.
Work in high resolution. Do not work at 72 DPI. I don't think I should say the
I would say, I often say, like, if I had a chance to go back and change my past, what would I do? And often the answer is like, oh, I wouldn't because I like where I am now. I wouldn't be the person I am if I wasn't. But if I could, if I could go back to my younger self and I was like, just a teenager or something, I would tell myself to actually be passionate about something. Because so many years I don't remember my life. I don't remember my high school years because I was going through it in like just days. I was just like, oh, I gotta get through this drudgery. And it's like, this is your life. Your life shouldn't be drudgery. Your life shouldn't be anything that's boring. Every day of your life should at least, even if you're resting a day of your life, it should be like the greatest resting you've ever rested in your life. You need to like have some passion about what you're doing and make sure that each moment matters, because that's when you find what you're really good at. Even like the moments that are pain and suffering, those moments like make the brighter days even brighter. And you just need to have not this dull drudgery in your life. You need to actually like stand for something, whether it's good or bad. You need to stand for it. So like be passionate about something.
That's so much better than saying invest in Apple stock.
Do that too. Next question. Yes, no, stop looking around. Yeah, you. Not you. You're next.
Miss Dan. When dealing with writer's block, or like, when you get tired of doing the same art over and over again, what do you do to just spark that creativity again? Because I have that problem all the time with anything. I don't draw or write, but I get that problem.
Find something in whatever you're doing that you can become interested in or passionate about. I mean, you can be the best at anything. You can be the best garbage collector out there. You can be the best house painter out there. I mean, anything is possible. It's the difference between if you've ever ridden in a cab. You get in a cab and it's usually messy and smelly, and the cab driver doesn't know English, you know, whatever it might be. But then you get into a cab and it's a nice one. The cab driver hands you a newspaper that's properly folded, hands you a basket of apples and bananas, and it says, "Enjoy your trip. Where would you like to go?" He gives you a business card that says, "I want you to enjoy your trip." That actually happened to me in New York.
You have high standards.
I remember that cab driver. I called him, and he picked me up on my way back to the airport. That's how to be passionate about something.
Sort of lie, I don't believe it. Yeah, I'll go out. If anyone else has anything to add?
I'll just add real quick. Pay attention to things that happen in your life. If like something really fascinating happens to you, write it down. Because you might find a story, information in that. Like somebody goes, "Oh, that is amazing." Write it down. You might write something about it.
The only thing I'll add is don't necessarily spend all your life doing this. There is a world out there. Just look up from time to time. The only bit of advice, and as it says, observe. Because when you're observing and you see things and you pay attention, that can actually spark creativity or spark motivation. And also, of course, watch Markiplier.
Yes, it's good. One more thing about that is never force yourself to try to come up with something creative, because your brain is created by itself. That's why your dreams are so vivid and wild. Like the creativity is mostly autonomous. I was watching the Game Grumps and Andy was talking about this, and I was talking too. And Game Grumps fans. I was just saying, like, you know, the majority of your creativity comes out of, you know, just the subconscious. You know, you don't come up with it. It's like you're a channel for your genius to pop out. Like the definition of genius was skewed, and he went on this big rant. But the main point that I took out from it was that you have the creativity within you, but if you try to force it, you're just locking yourself down and closing off your mind. You know, be in a place where you can relax and be open to a lot of things. And there's a good thing about having a good work ethic, pushing through certain times when you need to get something done, you get it done. Don't procrastinate and do it. But forcing yourself to be creative and trying to come up with great ideas won't get you anywhere. It's not going to happen. The greatest ideas you have are the times when you're happy, laughing with friends, you know, you're making yourself giggle, you know, you're surfing the internet. You get these great ideas. Like I said, write them down. You get these ideas, write them down. They're already just spewing out of your head. They're already all so creative. You just need to let it happen. Write it down. You can find it. 5 minutes. What? What? It's 3:45. What? I don't think so. We're going all night long. Oh no, wait! I promised the next one.
Okay, so if you all have to choose just one favorite character that you all created, who would it be and why?
All right, my favorite character. Everyone else dies. This is very important. No, you wouldn't think so, because my favorite character is Keith. He is the one that I like to pick on the most. He is a sad sack, and he has lots of bad things happen to him in the comic. So I really enjoy it because I get, you know, I'm malicious.
Of the comic the Richard Newsom's comic that I say my favorite character actually is Renata. She's a darkest man, because she's an ambitious person who gets kind of on the line. But she still makes it through, and she still has a very level head, even when things get really crazy around her. So, yeah, I kind of can understand how that is. And I admire someone who has a level head during a crisis. So she's my favorite character. Renata. Right.
For me, it's the Lisa character in the Exposure series, because with her sensitivity to the supernatural, it leads to so many interesting story possibilities.
For me, of course, it's Jinky, the bonsai girl, who's just fun, flirty, and just very confident, and she makes a lot of friends.
And she looks exactly like you.
And I would have to say, out of all the newer is Atlantis, because I patterned her after my wife.
My characters are characters that I played in sketches, and I know all of you are like, Wharf Dad, right? Oddly enough, Wharf Dad is not my favorite character that I've done. Guess why I keep killing him? But you know, not many people notice that whenever I do sketch, it's not me that I'm playing the sketch. It's a parody of myself, especially like in the things I did for like the dating simulator and the reaction time intro sketches that I did. Those are parodies of myself. But oddly enough, my favorite character that I made, you guys haven't even seen yet because he's for a sketch that we recorded while my friend Tyler was in town. And it's me as one of the variations of Cupid. And I'm in a diaper and I'm so blessed and I'm feeling like so badass. But you haven't seen it yet. That's a really cool character that I like. But like, it's different for me because if I kill a character that I don't like it. It's me, so I don't well, I don't do it. So not worth stash.
Also, I just want to say, Mark, I absolutely love the Five Nights at Freddy's musical. You just said you're singing
Lots of auto-tune.
It was all right.
Actually, no auto-tune. What?
Thank you.
All right. Wait. What? One more. Now you have questions to support the panel? There we go. Comics. Oh, for the one that's coming out soon? Oh, it jumps between every story.
Yes. Yeah. And this first one's going to be a one-shot watch for. We're also doing, actually also doing some pre-sale stuff.
Oh yeah, special editions.
And based on this, we'll look at some more.
Okay. Can we have one more question? One more? Okay, who's got a good question? You're all pointing at him. He's got a good, everyone's pointing at him. Okay, all right. Best question ever! Go ahead.
Okay.
Forever. Yeah, but I take my time to draw because I'm also a full-time mom. Manager, so I can finish this now. I gotta cook. So yeah, so I take my time and usually just work on Syntec. It's easier that way. I don't do and I'll just transfer that since I'll just initial on Syntec and then finish on the work.
Yeah, no special programs.
Okay, we're out of time. All right, so that is the end of this panel. There's a big stop sign up there. Rude. All right, but thank you all for joining us. Thank you.
I'll see you to group 2635.
2635.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.